You gotta fight to win. Fight to win. Fight to win. I'ma say it again. You gotta fight to win. Fight to win. It ain't over till it's over. It's about to begin. I'm so dedicated.
Good Monday morning. Thank you for joining and tuning in to Endie Fiya's Monday Motivation. This is your man Causso, the My Struggle is My Strength motivational speaker. I hope that everyone had a great weekend. And before we get started, I'd like to thank Endie Fiya for giving me this opportunity to speak. You can tune in to her show at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for music, entertainment, news, and daily inspiration for everyone. That's right, guys. Go to Blog Talk Radio /Endie Fiya. That's ENDIE, and Fiya is FIYA. Yes, sir. Check it out, guys, and tell Causso sent you. You know, we began our faith series talking about faith and talking about how does it work, right? Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So, in reality, we actually walk by faith and not by sight. We walk by what we believe to become true, although we have yet to see the evidence. You know, this is the principle that gives us access to the supernatural. And it is imperative that you don't waver in your faith. And whatever that thing is, you have to stay solid. You have to stay firm, believing in that thing without wavering. We also talked about having dreams and setting goals. You know, your dreams have to be so big that you realize that you can't accomplish it without God's help. And the best way to accomplishing your dream is to set goals. Now, goals are like the fuel. Goals are like the gas that keeps you going. You know, they keep you committed, and whatever you're committed to, that's what you become. Because, you know, commitment really helps you to discover your identity, and it helps you to discover your purpose in life, right? Now, this week we are subsetting our series with the title of productivity. Now, I believe that almost everyone has a desire for productivity. I mean, like, we all want it in our lives. We all want our lives to count, and we want our lives to matter and have meaning, right? You know, we all want to feel useful and to make a difference. And I don't think there's anyone that wants to like really waste their life. You know, we all want to be productive. And guess what, people? You know, the people that are the happiest are indeed the ones that are actually putting in the work and are actually productive. So in other words, being a good steward and making the most out of what you've been given, right? Making the most out of what you've been given is called productivity. And this principle is even true for businesses. It's true for organizations. It's true for nonprofits. And, you know, we all have been created to function, to be productive, to see the fruitfulness blossom in our lives. So the $1 million question is, what do you really want to accomplish with your life? You know, I mean, like, seriously, let's take a minute to think about what that thing is and what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to accomplish. Because if you don't know what that is, that's really no point in us talking about productivity. Because let me tell you, when my life is over with, and I want to be able to say that I have lived a productive, I have lived a fruitful and purpose-driven life. Because I understand one day the Creator is going to do an audit over my life and your life as well. And He's going to ask you and I, what did you do with what you've been given? You know, you see, being fruitful, it actually brings God glory. So if you want to be fruitful in your life, you have to cultivate the roots. This is the beginning point, because it is the root that produces the fruit. It is the plants and it is the trees that drives their roots deep down in the soil to pull the water out from the ground. So when the heat is on and you're experiencing one thing after the other, and the pressures and the stressors begin to increase, and everything seems to be going haywire, and you realize that, your resources are limited while you're experiencing a drought. And even like right now, that may be your present state. You don't have the money that you need, or you don't have the support, or you don't have, those necessary things to get by. The energy and the knowledge is not there. So how do you get past these circumstances? How do you deal with this thing? How do you cultivate deep spiritual roots? The number one thing that you have to do is you have to meditate and memorize the Word of God. This will develop your faith and strengthen the roots to be able to handle the tough times in life. If you're going to be fruitful and productive, the second thing that you have to do is you have to eliminate the weeds. You have to cut out the weeds. What are the things in your life that are limiting and hindering and choking out your productivity and your growth and development? So in order to sustain success and longevity and productivity, you must develop, a conscious and continuous weeding and learning. I believe it was Charles Garfield that wrote a book called Peak Performance. He studied performers in all arenas of life, whether it was an athlete or a CEO or a singer. And he came up with a list of common characteristics of peak performers. What it is that the number one characteristic is they all had a sense of balance. There's balance in their personal life, and there's balance in their private life. There's balance in their character and in their career and with their work, and there's balance with their hobbies, and they have balance in their relationships, right? What are the weeds? What are the things that take away your time and take away your energy and they keep you from bearing fruit? Weeds are a sign of neglect. Whenever you neglect, your quiet time or the things that keep you balanced in your life, like your relationships, the weeds are choking out your productivity, right? So as we're recapping, if you want to be productive and fruitful in your life, you have to cultivate the roots. And you can accomplish this by cutting out the weeds, that try to hinder your growth, the weeds that try to hinder your productivity. And in addition to this, you have to meditate and memorize the Word of God. This is your man Causso. Follow me right now. Take out your phones. Go to Instagram and follow me at ms_is_ms. And join us next week in the continuation of our faith series. I hope that everyone has an awesome and phenomenal week. Hope you guys stay safe. Continue to wear your mask, sanitize your hands, and keep your hands out of your face. And remember that saving lives starts with you.